problems and stuff trying to set up that Aprilia, but it looks like he's done a couple rounds and some testing and stuff, so keep your eyes peeled on this one, the 12 rig. It is world class. Oh, but a great start there on the left-hand side. The blue and orange rig getting the whole shot there.
Yeah, Mark Halls, and they've been around a while and done the last few rounds of Nationals, so good to see him up there on the little 600.
Yeah, 600 just scooted out. The 600, does it get wasted by the big bike, or not so much on this track here?
We definitely have a few long straights here, just kind of like a 600 and a 1000, and they're a lot better around the corners, smaller and nippier, easier to control.
Yeah.
So they, like at Taupo, they do quite well to cruise around. And I remember Tracy Bryan and Barry Smith on the 600 doing well to keep up with the LCRs, but once they get to that back straight, they we'll see here as Adam Unsworth chews up the ground and pulls probably almost up alongside him as we go into the bottom corner.
See there, it just looks like he's just warming things up and following that 600 round, like you said, and that's one thing that I used to sort of do is to get my head into gears. If I was on a superbike, I'd follow around a 600 to pick my corner speed up and leave the straights alone. It just got me back in touch with it, but there you can see his corner speed is very good, and that little 600 is out in front, and he's trying real hard. Yeah,
the corner speed out of that last corner is pretty amazing. That the LCR that was right on his tail, the 1000 coming out of the last corner is, he can't catch him. He doesn't start pulling in all the way to the pit lane. So the drive he must get out of the last corner is pretty immense.
So a big grunt down there. You see Adam having a look down into turn 1, but couldn't get it done. And the little 600 should be all right in round turn 2 and 3. It's holding its own.
With the 3 wheels and the bigger contact patch, they take the curbs obviously a lot better. We've got Bathurst on today, and we'll see these V8 supercars taking a lot of curb, and obviously on a motorbike, definitely unsettles the bike quite a lot. Had a crash at Ruapuna at Nationals by hitting the curb and knocking the brake pads loose. So definitely a lot more susceptible to any kind of vibrations, whether these three-wheeled machines will probably have a better job, as we see Adam Unsworth getting the drive and winding up that big wick of that 1000cc down the centre straight. And as you go into the last corner, the 600, getting a bit lose the rear coming around a bit on Adam Unsworth. Mark Hall's coming out of the slipstream out of the last corner, but that big power of that 1000 just blowing him away down the straight.
Adam's got some real nice flowing lines. He looked like he was swooping in. Like I said, he obviously just warming the thing up and having a look at that 600 and now. But the thing is, moving around a little bit setup-wise. You see that 1000 though, just like you said, down that middle straight, it just stretched its legs and took off. So it sort of looked like he just hooked onto the back of that 600, warmed it up, and now he's going to start to pull the trigger. So it'll be interesting to see what lap times he can do. Yeah, and also I've been watching a bit of the BSB, and they have the sidecars there sometimes. And these sidecars just an animal. They're almost as quick as superbikes. Yeah. With their 3 wheels. But big old slide Adam Unsworth into turn 4. The rear came right around. Just managed to clip the grass on the way out, but we're all still really steady and still going strong. Very big wide sweeping line down there into barrel 51, but he's got nice exit, Adam. Scooting out of the corner is really good, but yeah, entry, it doesn't look like it's going in with his setup at the moment. Yeah, with that long frame of the LCR, it's not like a superbike where you get it right in on the inside. You can just get it turned and get it out. They take a lot more to turn these things. The rear moving around quite a lot. And I was amazed when I saw the World Champs. How much setup went into it. They have one little squirm or the rear moves a bit and they're interchange something, because the more wheel spin you've got, the less grip you've got, and the slower you're going forward. So still a good ride out there by Adam Unsworth into the 12s, which is definitely a good time, 2 seconds quicker than his qualifying. Mark Hall's a second quicker than their qualifying in their second with 15.1, and both these guys did a great job. So in first position we've got Unsworth, then Hall, Plegg, MacArthur, Burke, and our 6th rig there, number 89 is Flynn. Probably about the closest battle we have on circuit at the moment is between... Oh, and Unsworth's off. Like you just touched it base before, eh? The rear's losing. He's into those right-handers down into... That's into turn 4. He's spun off, gone on the inside of the circuit. Look at how wide he's down into there. He's having to protect it and drive it out and then mop it up with that faster motor. But yeah, setup-wise, like you say, these poor boys as well, they don't get that much track time, do they? So that it's very rare. So a big, huge thank you to the Auckland Motorcycle Club for putting on the sidecars, because normally they just get dropped into our big meetings and they're meant to go race, and they haven't had very much setup time and stuff like that. So
yeah, there's definitely a lot of flex in that first place 1000 LCCR. You know, watching the rears unloading the front as well, just kind of snaking into every corner at the moment, you know, too hard on the brakes, or the rears just getting a little bit light, and we're just kind of seeing this sidecar spin up and then not grab the traction that it wants to.
So you can see he's protecting it, and he's going in very narrow, and he's not got very much corner speed, has he? And he's just mopping it up with that great new Aprilia motor that he's got in there. So we'll get them up here later on, and we'll find out what they're doing, because the sidecar guys will be at the Tri-Series, and they are definitely spectacular guys to watch.
Definitely a little bit more ginger around turn 4 that time, trying to keep it under control. You watch, it's just moving around so much. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen a sidecar move around as much as Adam Unsworth is moving around at the moment in the LCR, but you know, it looks like he's got one more corner to negotiate. He's going to bring it home for a first place, which is all that matters in the end. Oh, unfortunately, it looks like we've had Dave MacArthur pull into the pits, having such a good race there and almost onto the podium, but unfortunately we've seen him pull into the pits and lose a bit of points today, but you know, I'm sure they'll be up for next race.
So like we were touching on as well, a lot of these guys will be using this as a warm-up too for the Suzuki Series, which is coming up, which is arguably one of our biggest and most prestigious race meetings, and like we've had absolutely unbelievable international races and world-class lap times and stuff going on. So we've got a white flag out there. We've got one more to go.
Yep.
Got Unsworth out in front, followed by Hall, Plegg, Burke, MacArthur. He's out into the pits, and Flynn there in 6th position. So we'll try and get Unsworth up there and then find out. And same, we'll try and get some other people up into the commentary box and figure out what their day, how their day's going and what they're trying to achieve and stuff at this great event put on to you by Auckland Motorcycle Club.
Yeah, no, good drive there by Adam Unsworth, and to get it home. You know, I think it's quite a relatively new pairing, a new motor, so a lot of things to get used to. They'll definitely go back and look at this race. They'll come and communicate to their team what went right, what went wrong, and go able to work from there, because obviously it looks like they've got a bit of setup issues and a little bit of work to do, but I'm sure they'll be right on top of it by next race.
See how smooth that one in second. Oh. There we go, Unsworth taking the win. See how smooth that little 600 was in second position, but in saying that, there's a pretty big gap.
Yeah, definitely.
There we go.
Just cruising off on that last lap. Either just saving themselves, quite hot out there, or saving the motor. So about 6 seconds a lap slower, so quite a big drop off. So hopefully nothing too major there, and we'll definitely see them out next race. We got the Junior Cup race coming up next, which we saw earlier this morning. An amazing race between 3 quick young boys, with Luca Dern, Caleb Gilmore and Jesse Stroud, with a close finish again, with under 1/10 of a second. So hopefully we see some more of that. Great to see Caleb up here get some training in against Jesse. They're doing some good lap times out there. I did mention to Jesse after the race that did the same lap time he did about 5 years ago on 390 here, but hey, look, it's all right. You know, they've all got they can't have it too easy. Can't have it too easy.
What's your best on a Super Sport 600 or any?
Oh, what did I do the last race? I didn't even look.
12.
Oh, really?
Nah.
Okay, cool.
You did an 8.
Yeah, I think we did an 8 flat here last round, but a little bit of setup issues to work on before next time we go out. But